Young, tall, impressive. These qualities, according to Jarosław Kaczyński, should be present in the law and justice candidate for the president of Poland. But there is really only one condition. The candidate must have the best chance of winning in the second round. According to the niezależna.pl portal, the candidate could be selected in a primary election like in the United States. Chairman Kaczyński does not confirm, but neither does he deny it. The issue of the primary election has been discussed for at least many weeks, but I repeat, the decision has not yet been made. Unofficially, 4 names were to remain in play. The most frequently mentioned were the president of the Institute of National Remembrance, Karol Nawrocki.
Czy jest pan gotowy?
Are you ready? Today I focus on my work at the Institute of National Remembrance. There is a lot of work, but with this level of a potential decision, I put myself at the disposal to serve Poland. And current MEP, former Mazovian governor, Tobiasz Bocheński. This is the most important office in Poland and a gigantic responsibility. But yes, if I were entrusted with this mission, I feel ready to undertake it and fight on behalf of the Polish right to ensure that Polish affairs continue to be conducted in the presidential palace in a responsible manner and in accordance with the Polish reason of state. Both have clearly declared they are ready to fight for the presidency. In their favor is the fact that they have not been in the government for the past 8 years, so any of the December 13th coalition candidates will have limited opportunities to attack Nawrocki or Bocheński. In Bocheński's case, the downside is that he will clearly lose in the elections for mayor of Warsaw to Rafał Trzaskowski, who may be endorsed by the Civic Coalition. The mentioned 4 also include the former Minister of National Defense, Mariusz Błaszczak. Next year's presidential election is a very important matter for the future of our country. It is very important that the system is not closed and that the candidate of law and justice will win in these elections. And as Jarosław Kaczyński said, just a little more patience and we will present our candidate who will have a chance to win. The deputy head of law and justice did not want to step out in front. Do you feel that you are ready? Next station, please. Recent weeks also saw the name of former Deputy Foreign Minister Marcin Przydacz. Would Marcin Przydacz take on this task? Mr. Editor, to run, whether in the primaries or in the elections, would be a great honor if such a proposal was made. I was treated accordingly with respect. What is needed is a victory for this broadly center-right in this election, because the president will be the one who will win in the second round, 50% of the votes plus 1, and for that, it will be necessary to mobilize and capture a majority of the votes of the Confederation political party or the third wave voters. Chairman Jarosław Kaczyński indicates that the choice will fall on whoever has the best chances in the polls and surveys. Because there are different comparison levels, different criteria. Even in some of these polls, there are a dozen of them. This is scored later, and when it comes to the results, we tend to get ties. That's the problem. If there were no ties, perhaps there would already be a decision. But there are ties. So in short, we have a lot of good candidates. And there are not necessarily only candidates from the 4 listed. The leader of Law and Justice likes to surprise. Hence, we should not forget about the so-called black horses. Behind the scenes, we hear that Przemysław Czarnek is still in play. Ladies and gentlemen, I am not in the top leadership of Law and Justice. This is the first I hear about the primary election. If Chairman Kaczyński offered it to you, and if you were to run, would you accept the offer? I would think about it. Polish people have been hearing for several years that each successive election is the most important since 1989. Now both Jarosław Kaczyński and Donald Tusk are saying this. Why? Donald Tusk says so because he wants to close the system and end democracy in Poland once and for all, and we want to save democracy. That's why this is the most important election. The Law and Justice candidate for the next Polish president will most likely be announced on the 11th of November.